Hello and welcome back to the Unbearable Reds. I'm your host Carl, and today we're going to be looking at 5 attacking players that I think Liverpool should be looking at now that the Timo Werner transfer has fallen through. Now, in my previous video I said that the chances of Liverpool making big signings in this window is not going to be likely given the financial situation. But if we are in a position to make signings and we are looking to sign an attacking player, these are 4 players that I think we should be looking to bring in. This list is in no particular order. It's just 4 players I think should be on the radar of our recruitment team. And I am also going to be using Adama Traore a lot in this video to compare these players to, because he's a player that we're linked with quite a bit, widely touted as being a top target for Liverpool. I think it's a good comparison to make. The reason I've chosen Traore is because I don't think Traore would be a good signing or a good investment for the club. I've done a video on this previously. You can check that out for more of my opinion on that. So let's get down to it. Number 4. Lauturo Martines, Inter Milan's young Argentine striker, 22 years old, and looks like he has the potential to go and be one of the top strikers in the world with the right coaching. So what we'd like to see is Jurgen get his lovely German fingers all into his development and help him kick on and achieve the considerable potential that he still does have. So far this season, he has made 28 appearances for Inter Milan, scoring 16 goals. In that time, he's taken 4.2 shots a game and completing 1.2 key passes and 1.2 dribbles. Now, if you compare those to the numbers that Bobby Firmino has been putting up for Liverpool, in the 39 games that Bobby's played for us, he scored 11 goals, got 10 assists, he's taken 2.7 shots per game and completing 1.4 key passes and 1.8 dribbles per game. So, comparing the two players' numbers, Martinez is holding his own a little bit against Bobby Firmino. He's still not hitting the heights of what we'd expect from a player in that position, but he's still young, he's still got room to develop, and I think if he was to come into the club, he wouldn't go straight into the first team like a Timo Werner would have, because Timo Werner would have been basically the finished article. It's just a case of just putting him on the pitch and letting him do his work. But with Lautaro Martines, because he's still got some development to do, some kinks to iron out in his game, I don't think he'd be necessarily competing for first team places straight away. But I think you may see a situation that we had with Andy Robertson or Fabinho, where they came in, they got the team for a bit, and then once they started showing on the training pitch what we're looking for, that's when you get the chances, and I think he's very much capable of achieving that at Liverpool Football Club. Lautaro Martines, he's currently valued at 57 million, which for a young striker who's currently playing well for one of the top teams in Europe, that's a decent price, particularly when you see his numbers compared to Bobby in the areas that we would be looking for. There is definite room for improvement, but it's a good starting point and a place that he can really kick on from with the right coaching staff and the right players around him. So if you compare that fee that you'd be paying for Martinez to what we'd be paying for Adama Traore, which is touted to be between 60 and 80 million, and he's scored 4 goals and got 7 assists in one of the better teams in the league, and he's touted as being like the next big thing for Liverpool. I'd rather see us spend the money on Lautaro Martines, knowing that he's got potential to improve to, rather than bring in the likes of a Adama Traore, who has had one good season in his entire career. He's now getting on a bit, he's like 26. I just think we need to be more pragmatic and less myopic when it comes to that signing. Hello, so you've made it this far into the video, so you must be liking what you see. If you are enjoying yourself, please drop us a like, please subscribe, leave any comments that you like, and enjoy the rest of the video. And number 3 is Federico Chiesa. He's an Italian winger and he's been on the radar of a number of top teams in Europe. He's 22 years old, he can play on the right or the left, although he does normally play down the right for Fiorentina. He's put on a number of good performances this season, and he's arguably the only reason that Fiorentina aren't in a relegation battle this season. So far this season, Chiesa, he's played 23 games, scoring 6, assisting 5. Not amazing numbers, but when you caveat to the fact that Fiorentina are pretty poor, those numbers do look a bit more favourable. And I think if you'd surround them with better players, a better system, with better management, you would see those numbers just naturally rise as a result of it. He's valued at 43 million, which for a player of his age and his quality is good value, especially when you compare him once again to Adama Traore, who we've been linked with a lot. We'll be spending, as I said before, 60 to 80 million for him. He's only scoring 4 goals in one of the better teams in the Premier League, and Chiesa's getting better numbers in a worse this team. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't make sense to be spending that money on Adama when you put it in that context. Number 2 is Marcel Sabitzer. I do love a bit of RB Leipzig, and it should come to no surprise that I'm recommending one of their players here. I've watched a lot of RB Leipzig recently because obviously we were supposed to be signing Timo Werner, so I was watching a lot of their games to basically have a better look at him, and during my time doing that, Marcel Sabitzer has also caught my eye. He's played alongside Timo Werner in RB Leipzig's attacking line, and although Werner does get the majority of the goals, Sabitzer has performed very, very well. So he's an Austrian right winger, and so far this season he's played 40 games for RB Leipzig across all competitions. He's scored 16 goals and he's provided 9 assists. Decent numbers for a player that is not the team's main goal scoring threat. As a Liverpool player though, you could expect those numbers to rise due to our use of our wide forwards as our main goal scoring threat. When the impetus is put on him to be more of a goal scorer, he's definitely got the quality to be able to do that. And I think, as with a lot of players, you put them in our system and you will basically unleash Sabitzer when you haven't got a Timo Werner who is the main goal scoring threat. I think you would see maybe not a vast improvement, but you'd see enough of an improvement to make him a worthwhile addition to our attacking line, particularly when you compare him to the likes of Divock Origi and Xherdan Shaqiri. He's a much better player than both of those, and I think, as I always say, we need depth in quality, not just depth for depth's sake, and I think Sabitzer would be a fantastic signing in that regard. He improves the front line, you can bring him in and he'd do a job, he'd score goals, he'd score far more goals than Divock and Xherdan, and I think that's exactly what we need in the team as a backup forward. He's valued at £28 million, and for a player of his ability that would be an absolute steal, especially once again compared to the 60 to 80 million that you'd have to pay for Adama Traore, who is an inferior player. And also, since the Bundesliga has restarted, Sabitzer has been on fire, so I'd recommend going back and watching some of their games, and watching their games going forward as well, because he has been really good, and just to see for yourself. And number 1 is Paulo Dybala. I have always pronounced his name as Pablo Dybala, and it's only today when I've done the research for this video that I've realised his name's actually Paulo. But anyway, this guy needs no introduction. Argentine striker, virgin on world class. We were heavily linked with him last summer alongside United and Spurs. No one ended up getting him, and he's still at Juventus right now. So since Ronaldo signed for Juventus, Dybala is very much no longer the main man there, and he is no longer expected to be their main goal scorer, which for a young striker must really piss you off when you're the next big thing, you're ready to take the step up, lead the line for one of Europe's top teams, and then you go and spend, what was it, 100 million on Ronaldo to basically do your job for you. Wouldn't make me feel great, to be honest. So as a result of that, there are rumours that he is unhappy and he is looking to move, and I think if that is the case, Liverpool should be in the market for him. So far this season he's played 24 games, scoring 7 and assisting 9. Decent numbers when you remember that now that Ronaldo's at Juventus, everything about the way they play is geared towards making him look fantastic, and those numbers are also comparable to our very own Bobby Firmino, and he has been compared to Bobby in the past in his play style, particularly since Ronaldo has come in and he's had to adopt more of a selfless striking role. So bringing in a player like Dybala would take some of the pressure off Bobby when it comes to being the only person in the squad that can really do his job, and it would also free him up to play more in a central attacking midfield role when we do switch to a 4-2-3-1. So Dybala is currently valued at £64 million, and I think that's a good price for a player in the same mould as Bobby, and also yet to really fully hit his potential as well. Right, so those are the players that I think Liverpool should be looking at if we are in the market for frontline reinforcements this summer. Let me know what you think down below. If you've enjoyed the video, drop us a like, subscribe, and as always, up the Reds.